And we live. Hey guys, happy Saturday. Welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen in this video, but that's all right. We will live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, like and share the video, subscribe to James's channel, all those good things.
Yes, and while you're hitting subscribe to my channel, make sure you subscribe to Mrs. Best's channel as well. Any recaps or reviews that I don't do on my channel personally, we cover on her channel. So we split it up. So she's picking up Love and Hip Hop Miami. So if you want to get caught up, she also has a category list for all those episodes and recaps that we have done together. So get caught up so that way you're all fresh with us when we start the new season. And also the same goes for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That will also be on Mrs. Best's channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you love that TV show, we recap that one as well. It's one of our favorites. My favorite housewife is on that franchise, so we will be on there. So, speaking of Real Housewives, we are here for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 9. This episode is called Revenge is the Best in Coach. That lives well at the end of this episode. So, let's go ahead and review the episode. So the episode opens up where it left off, where Todd has given John Barlow, which is Lisa's husband, hey, he said Lisa either to cut that shit out or she got to go. And so John pulls Lisa to the side and tells her, he says, you need to stop or we have to go. So they go outside away from the house because the walls are thin and they didn't want anyone to hear their conversation. And Lisa is, putting on the acting crying. If I ain't ever seen acting crying in all of my life, she need to be an actress because she's really good. But she's like, I just can't believe this. I love Bronwyn. I can't believe this is going on and that they feel this way about us. And, with Bronwyn and Angie, I think it's Whitney. It has to be Whitney. Whitney is the only person that could tell them these things about me so they won't like me anymore, John. It's Whitney. But I'm going to talk to Bronwyn because I want to make sure she knows that I love her and that I would never want to do anything to hurt her. I'm looking at Lisa like, okay, two things. One, you are changing up on Bronwyn to spite Heather because you need minions. That's one thing. And number two, how the hell do we equate Whitney to the fact that your fallout with Angie and Bronwyn is happening right now? Why are we blaming Whitney for this again? Whitney didn't do anything. Whitney got her own problems with you. Why would she want to taint the minds of Bronwyn and Angie, which she couldn't taint the mind of Bronwyn because Bronwyn said, hey, look, your experience is your experience. Lisa is my friend, and I have my own different experience. I have not experienced that. So I'm not trying to dismiss your feelings, but those are not mine. She said that out of her own mouth. And the shit with you and Angie, you caused. So I don't know what's going on here. How did you feel about that opening scene up, Mrs. Best?
Lisa just want to blame somebody so she don't have to take accountability. She's a shitty friend. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. That's really all I have to say. I'm just happy Bronwyn can catch on to it, as we'll see later, much faster than
The rest of it.
others. Yeah,
The
the
thing
rest of
about
it.
it is Bronwyn's not. See, the problem with the women in the previous seasons when it comes to Lisa is that they were trying to be on, her side because it looks good. Her and Meredith were the popular girls when this show opened up. So it was, their mission to be with the popular girls, whereas you have Bronwyn, she stands alone. So it's kind of like one of those things where she don't need Lisa to stand. She's going to do it by herself anyways. Hey, Kevin Reynolds, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Ooh, and I just muted myself. Sorry about that, y'all. But they go to lunch. All of the couples are there, and Lisa takes it upon herself to talk to Bronwyn at the table. And Todd is already getting annoyed. He's already he just want to enjoy his little lunch. I don't know why, Lisa, you want to play with this man's feelings. I don't know why that man seemed like he mean business, but Lisa wanted to play with his feelings. And so Bronwyn is trying to make, some type of amend that, she just wanted to hear Heather out, hear Heather's story and everything. And it wasn't that she wasn't trying to discredit how Bronwyn felt. It was just that, she just, hurt Heather and everything. And Bronwyn's just listening, like, get to the apology, get to the apology. And Lisa is going all around because she doesn't feel like she owes Bronwyn an apology. And then at some point in the conversation, when you have people who lie on you, like Whitney at the end of the table, Whitney says, I never lied on you, Lisa. I never lied on you and everything. And you came up and you were aggressive towards my husband. And Lisa was like, no, 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 no. I was not aggressive to your husband. I walked up to him and said, how does he deal with you lying? Your husband actually was very rude to me and kept saying, fuck, 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 and all this and this and that. And I'm like, okay. So Justin sitting at the other end of the table, he was like, Lisa, that did not happen. I did not do that to you and everything. And Lisa's like, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, and everything. And it all happened. And Lisa gets heightened. Todd is getting annoyed. So he gets up to leave. And Brown said, no, 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 just sit here and chill for a minute. Like, it'll be over in a minute. Just, it'll be okay. And John Barlow steps in. He goes, hey, look, Lisa doesn't lie on her friend. She's the most honest person. And we all looking at John like, you must don't know your wife, but that's neither here nor there. And he said, Whitney, why don't you just ask her if she did it? And so Whitney does. Whitney asked her, well, Lisa, did you do this? And Lisa said no. And he goes, case closed. And we're all looking at John like, okay, yeah, you were able to get them to make amends at this table, but Lisa is holding on to this shit for dear life because she has something now to run with. So Seth breaks the ice and was like, okay, so he makes a joke about asparagus being smelled in urine, which was kind of funny. It was a nice little icebreaker. And they all decide to go ahead and play volleyball. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about John Barlow stepping in with Lisa and that whole thing with the Whitney exchange? And how do you feel like Lisa's assessment of what she did with Justin?
John Barlow is a weak man that cannot drive. I still can't believe he couldn't get into that little park that we saw when he was parking to meet with Whitney's husband. Anyhow, John Barlow, I don't respect men like that. I feel like a very important part of a healthy relationship, especially in marriage, is being able to you know, tell your partner about themselves in private when necessary. I understand defending your wife publicly. I'm not mad at him for that. But it's when we see him individually with Lisa and he still is not explaining to her that she is wrong. So I don't really like men like him. It gives me weak. That's just how I feel about it. You cannot make accusations and feelings like so deeply just go away because you say you want it to go away. John Barlow don't want to get put the hell out is what it is. Okay? Let me tell you, to them clear people, being put out is like an egregious offense. They do not like being put out of nowhere. Okay? So I feel like he just trying to avoid being put out. Lisa don't know how to act. Something is wrong with her. And her husband can't fix it.
I agree with your comment, Cameron Reynolds. Lisa is not simply apologizing to Roman because Lisa is jealous of Roman and her wealth. Plus, Lisa wants to be that main it girl, period. I don't know what she thought when she brought Roman to the show. Like, I don't know what was in her mindset because you had to know this woman has a very strong personality from what we're seeing. We see also that she is well wealthier than all of you, and it's like, I don't know what you thought she was gonna do. Did you think she was going to, just be up your ass like Angie was when she first got on the show? Like, I don't understand what Lisa thought was gonna happen with Brahman. But I'm glad Brahman is standing out. This episode did kind of take me a pause at Brahman. It wasn't a bad pause. I just we'll address it when it needs to get addressed. But yeah, this episode made me look at Brahman a little bit differently. John Barlow is an enabler to Lisa's bad behavior. Yeah, because if Lisa wins, he wins. That's all that is. If Lisa wins, he wins. Once Lisa loses, it's hell for him at home. I can tell. I can tell what it's like for them at home. Like, he doesn't put his foot down with anything. He lets her run that entire household. And, that's what it is. And if that works for them, good. But hey, couldn't be me. So we get a scene with Mary. Mary goes up to her son's room. And when Mary walks in, they all up in the bed cuddling and eating. And as soon as Mary sat down in that chair and she goes, are y'all gonna clean up this room? Like, look at this house. Like, what is going on here? And they just sitting there just eating. And it was Mary's face expressions because she was looking at that girl. She wasn't looking at her son. She was looking at that girl feeding that boy and shit. The Mary was like, okay, so what's the plan? Like, are we just gonna sit in bed all day? What is going on? Hey Naya, I appreciate you coming, love. Mary was definitely she was very really ashamed. And for me personally, that wouldn't happen in my household. Sorry, I would love. I don't have kids, y'all. I don't, but I imagine when I do have them, that's not gonna happen. Not in my house. If y'all want to lay up and cuddle and be in the bed with each other, y'all do that at your own house. Get your own shit. Get your own jobs. That's not gonna happen at my house. And then y'all eating in the bed and stuff. Ain't got no plates. Just eating off a paper towel. I was looking. I was married. I was Mary's face like, what's going on here? And so in Mary's confessional, Mary was like, it's her fault because she did spoil him. She did spoil her son. She did, you know, enable him a lot. And I just was like, Mary, yeah, you could take the blame for a lot of this if you did spoil him. But the question I want to know is, where is Robert Sr.? Where is Robert Sr.? Because they can't just be on you. You're still married. You have a husband. That's his father. He's still present. So where is he at? Why isn't he talking to Robert Sr.? Why is he not getting? Is it just hasn't happened yet? Does Robert Sr. just let you have this kind of control with the kid? I don't know, but I kind of feel like I don't want Mary to take the full blame when her husband also has a part, and this is a boy child, so he should also be as an influence. My take is that Robert Sr. is probably a hard ass, and Mary doesn't want to involve him because she doesn't want to isolate herself from her son. But if that's the case, then Mary, you need to get tough skin because he's going to do that the moment you start cutting him off, and you need to start cutting him off so he can grow. He's not growing because of you. How did you feel about the scene with Mary?
Um, I agree with Kevin Reynolds. My mama would not allow me to be in the bed. I couldn't even have boys in the house, but I'm a girl, so it's a little bit different. Uh, but I couldn't do what they was doing, even if, especially without a job. They just in the house. They not doing nothing. So I don't know. I don't think Mary should show her child. He's definitely got some issues he needs to address. But them donuts did look good.
Oh, anytime Mary has food on camera, it always looks great. But for me, I feel like I don't want her to take the full blame for why her son's in the predicament that he's in. I want to put that at Robert Senior's foot as well because I feel like he needs to get the brunt of it too, not just her. But we know he's in a different house in a different state. They have 5 homes, so we know that he's in one of them homes and probably in Florida. So who knows? But I just feel like I want Mary to stop taking the blame for this so much because it takes y'all. You're married. You're still with his father, so he needs to step up too. So moving on from there, the next scene we have is we had the volleyball game. I'm not gonna really go through that too much. Them donuts look good. You are. We be hungry sometimes, Kevin Reynolds. We be hungry. I don't think it's fully her fault. Yeah, it's not. It's not fully her fault. It's not fully her fault. That's why I don't want her to take the full blame for it. I feel like that needs half of it needs to go to Robert Senior too. But anyways, y'all, they have Brown gives like this themed dinner for the couples, and she has a mariachi band and a couple of Todd's friends come in, just to kind of hang out with them as well, because that's what they do. Um, just an invitation to bring roaches into. Oh, could y'all imagine if Mary saw a roach in that big old house? Oh, I could just see her face now. Mary would probably start cussing.
She probably has seen a roach in there. Bugs like cluttering. Mary has so much stuff. She probably has seen something crawling around in there.
We do not advocate that Mary got roaches, y'all. We just saying it could be a possibility, so don't take that personal. We're not talking about black people and roaches. Okay, I had to make sure we clear because you know how people is these days. But so yeah, Brown. So they have Todd's friends and they're mingling. Everyone comes out. Everyone loves the atmosphere. The atmosphere was very inviting. They had these 2 black chefs in there the entire time. I know them people made a lot of money off of that. I know that wasn't cheap to do. And so then Todd's kind of introducing him, and they cut to and production is messy as hell for this. So they cut to Todd talking to his friends, and he introduces the Barlows, and he goes, "Yeah, I met them." He goes, "They have a tequila line," and Todd said, "Yeah, that little mediocre tequila," and I laughed so hard because Todd does not care that he is on camera. Todd does not care if he hurts your feelings. Todd said mediocre tequila. Like I was on the floor. Is that tequila really that bad? Like I'm gonna have to order me some just to
It
taste it.
can't be that good because Lisa is not worth as much money as she like to act like she puts out or has. And she is wealthy. She is, but not in a way that if this show disappears, she would just feel so secure. I feel like her husband got it. But I don't know about her because she act right when it comes to him for the most part. But I believe that the tequila is mediocre just based on how it looks when they pour it. It just
Oh,
look a little bit cheap.
hmm yes. Hey, Jean Kissable. I think that's how you say your name. Sorry if I messed up on that. But yes, we appreciate you stopping in. We appreciate you. So the couples are all at the table, and Angie decides to get some whiteboards and some markers and to play a little bit of the newlywed game. She apologizes to the other couples that were there because she didn't get enough whiteboards for
No, no,
everybody.
no, 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 no. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I just want to say the fact that she would come to somebody else's anniversary event that she just met and come at the table with a game, that was rude and not in it was in poor taste, in my opinion. Like, this is not your event. You should have asked for permission to do this from the couple prior to doing it. I did not like that she did that.
I didn't either. I thought it was definitely in poor taste. What do we think of Angie? So, in general, she's skating to my good side. But I'm gonna tell you when I first, if you have been watching me from the beginning, I didn't like Angie. I felt like they kept the wrong cast member. I would have preferred Dana from season 3 to be on the show versus Angie because I felt like Dana gave in season 3. But she's starting to mosey her way to my good side. She hasn't done anything yet that got on my nerves. I'm sure it's coming, but as far as now, we're 9 episodes in, and she hasn't really done anything that I felt was bad yet. Mr. Best, how do you feel about Angie?
Here's my thing. I don't dislike Angie. My beef with Angie has been during her tenure on the show, she tends to not stand up for herself in the right way at the right time or in the right moment. It drives me crazy. And then with her little props and games and stuff, to me, it comes off as corny and disingenuous because it seems like she wants to have a moment on the TV. But I do also feel like at times she can like be a little bit too sensitive, and that's the part that annoys me. She's doing a little better this season, but I just need to see her do better for a longer amount of time because I haven't cared for Angie, y'all. I just have not. I know people don't like that, but I have not cared for her. She's doing a little better this season, but I don't know if it's gonna last. Her husband is doing great.
Please share your thoughts on Todd and Brahman. And whenever you commented, I'll read it. And then when we get there, we'll definitely dissect it a little bit more because I agree. I also have some thoughts on that as well, particularly this scene and another scene. So, yeah, I will definitely be here for any comments that you guys have. So, moving on from there. So, Angie passes down the whiteboards and everything. And she asked her little question. She was asking invasive questions like, what is your husband or your partner's favorite sexual position? No one really gave names to sexual positions, which makes me feel like all these couples really don't have a healthy sex life at all. Her husband about to win a snowflake. Brahma holds her own with these ladies, but when it comes to Todd, that's the man in charge. Oh, absolutely, because he where the money resides. Not to mention, oh, I forgot to mention my favorite part. Brahman actually chose the $4 million necklace as the anniversary gift. And I just said, damn, $4 million on your neck. I don't even know what that feels like, y'all. I don't even know what $200 feels on my neck. But ooh, that necklace, hell, at some point I feel like hell, you can yell at me for that. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, y'all. I don't advocate for that. I'm just playing. But yes, it was beautiful. It was, oh my gosh. Um, yeah. So they're all laughing and everything. And so Angie at the last question asked, well, who do you dislike the most at the table? And oh, why she do that? Because everyone was writing down who they had a problem with. So Whitney takes it upon herself to say, Lisa, do you feel like you owe my husband an apology for charging at him? And of course, Lisa doesn't feel like she owes her an apology. Lisa looked at Whitney like, no, I don't feel like that. In fact, I feel like he owes me an apology. And so, Justin, I don't know what the hell you were thinking. I don't know who the hell told you to do this. I don't know why you did this. But Justin said, I apologize to you, Lisa, if for coming at you. I wish I would have did it less abrasively or whatever he said. And I was Whitney. The fuck are you doing? And she goes, okay, well, Justin, since you did that, I'm sorry that I included you. I said,
I actually think that he was smart to apologize because there's going to come a point in time where they go to the reunion and you know that that's going to be something that is brought up and they can replay the scene right there in front of her and it's like everyone will see that this lady did come at him first and charge at him. So I feel like him apologizing now she can't complain about nothing and has to shut the hell up. So if she keep bringing it up, now she gonna be the one that look crazy. Now I was with Whitney because you could have warned your wife. Whitney looked at him like, "What?" Like he got a earful later, but I do think it was smart for him to do that, especially as a man, because Lisa would not have let it go. And he's aggressive. He came at me this, but you got your apology. You weren't accountable. It's gonna be discussed again, and lots of people will see this. So I do think that Justin was smart to do it. Do I think he was genuine and meant that apology though? Hell nah. He didn't
she
mean
wouldn't
that.
have gotten the satisfaction. I would have told production to kiss my ass. I ain't apologizing for a damn thing. So it wouldn't have been an apology. I'm Sean at the table. Since we aired, let's go ahead and peel this apart. Because Seth and Meredith, y'all are not safe in this part of this segment. So for those of y'all who love Meredith and Seth, this is the part of my life where you might want to click off and come back in about 10 more minutes. Because this part right here is not going to be great for them. I'm just gonna put that out loud. So yeah, and this is me. Yeah, but so Meredith says, okay, well, since we're at it, Sean, we had a conversation at your home and we were talking about everything. We laid it out on the table. I even apologized for the things that, I didn't even have any part in. And I just thought it was horrible for you to talk about my son the way you did. Sean looked at her and said, well, what did I say about Brooks? And he goes, you know what, Meredith, let me kind of elaborate here. I thought we left that conversation great. I thought we were on better terms. I thought that was the end of it. One of my pet peeves is when we say we let something go and we don't. And Meredith feels like Sean owes her an apology for talking about Brooks and using his sexuality. And he asked Meredith, well, what exactly did I say about Brooks? Because I was talking about you. I was saying that you used his sexuality as a scapegoat for the rumors that didn't quite land with Sean. Come on now. Let's not do this. Now, I was with you up until you said it did not land in that podcast because it definitely landed. It was definitely believable, but it was in poor taste regardless. So I just fixed that for you. But let's not do that. Let's not skate way off the deep end. Those rumors were absolutely believable, but that's neither here nor there. But long story short, Meredith did use her son as a scapegoat to deflect that there were possibilities of rumors and things that were said about Angie's husband when that episode aired. It was episode 2 when she said that. And that information, and she was saying, it's nothing against the LGBT community. And she did say that last season. So he was right in what he said. And they were like, well, then show us the proof. Like Angie and Whitney, like, well, show us the proof, Meredith. And so Seth, with his, I can't, like, the audacious, like, I can't even put like words to it, but he held his phone up and said, proof, biatch. And I said, wait a minute. Angie and Whitney are better than me. Who the fuck are you talking to? Ooh. Yo, when he held that phone up, I was like, oh no, we have lost all of our marbles and we have lost our entire mind. First of all, Seth, see, this is where we got to get you together real quick because you just sat at a table and just saw a woman, regardless if he did it or not, just accuse a man of being aggressive with her, saying all kind of curse words and stuff, and making it seem like she was a victim and everything, and you chose to do that exact same thing. You're not that smart, and neither is Meredith. Because Meredith, if you were really the lawyer that you say that you were, you would have had the subliminal message and you would have played the audio of what he had and let us dissect whether or not it landed of him talking about Brooks, because he didn't talk about Brooks. I actually heard the podcast that he was on, and he just said it was all in poor taste. He said that that was really hard for him to really maneuver those rumors, really hard for him to live that because he has a daughter who is going to be in high school, and I'm sure the kids watch the school. He was really just putting it on there as like this really was hard for him to really endure that because one, the rumors are not true, and then two, it was one of the situations to where it hurt his family. Like they had to live with this. So for Meredith to then try to play a tit for tat, but the tat wasn't even spelled with the three letters, it's like, man, what were you trying to do in this moment? What was the point of this? Seth didn't mean it like that. Um, I I want to believe that, but at the same time, because everybody is so sensitive and it really was unnecessary. And then what he shows, you know, in the context of it, it really makes it seem like no, he was intentionally being derogatory to those women. Because what are the points?
I actually agree with Jay Kissable. I do not think he was being derogatory to the women intentionally. I think he's obnoxious and childish to a certain extent, and I think that's where the biatch thing came from. But I also think Meredith, who has been crying and bitching and moaning in his ear about everything, probably asked him to have her back on this because we know she's known to pre-produce. But at the same time, regardless on how he meant it, I did not like it either, if that makes sense. Like, I know he didn't mean no harm, but at the same time, it's like you can't really talk to women like that. And then y'all just had this discussion about not having the husbands get involved in the drama, and now you've got a husband involved in the drama, and all he pulled up was a little tabloid that has been known to post stuff that's not true. So it wasn't actual proof. I think the what they say, hit dog go holler and all of that. Meredith and Seth was loud as hell. She was stumbling and stuttering and all types of stuff. There was some stuff that Sean, is that his name? The girl husband. There was some stuff that he said that also, like, to me, I was like, oh, that's not true. Or, oh, that's not true. But as a whole, he did not talk about her child. And he had a point. If you was bothered about this, why you ain't said nothing and all the time prior to this moment that we've had right here? You just now choosing to say something. So Meredith and Seth are weird and, in my opinion, looking for a moment and a way to stay relevant on this show. They don't give much in storyline, and I personally think their marriage is a mess, but they don't want us to see it on camera. So, you know.
And even at the end of it, Sean was like, look, I actually like y'all and I would like a way forward with you, but I'm not going to apologize for something unless you tell me what exactly I did. And if it is something that I really did say derogatory towards Brooke, then I will apologize to him. Because let's keep in mind, Brooks is grown.
Right, they acted
So,
like this is like a
yeah,
teenager
like,
or a child that could be like deeply impacted. Like this is an adult.
you know, here's the thing. I do agree when the children um, involve themselves in the grown business, that's when we can come back and say, well, you know what? Hey, they did it. Like, a good example of this was Kim Zolciak's children. That was a good example. Who else? Who else's child really got involved in like really
Teresa
ridiculous?
Judice with
Yes,
Gia
Teresa Giudice's
Judice
children.
being
Yes.
involved, and she's grown, but she be thoroughly involved in the drama that goes on with the housewives,
Hmm.
and it
Yep.
doesn't work for kids to get involved. But in this case, Brooks isn't really so involved in the show, and the only time he does come up really is if Meredith is bringing him up or speaking about
Hmm.
the things that he experiences. So what Sean said was true. Like Meredith does kind of use her child as a crutch for something to talk about. She exposes a lot that's going on. Like, okay, we get it. Your child is gay. Show us you supporting the gay community or something, but we don't need you to keep speaking about it as if he's just going through it. But we don't really see Brooks that much.
I heard about the little reality show that Riley, Gia, and who else is gonna be on that show? I'm not gonna watch it because personally, I would rather not, and I'm sure not gonna recap it because I'd rather leave them out of it. I don't want to talk about because Candy just got mad about Andy asking Riley about her father. I'm not trying to deal with parents. I'm just really not gonna do it. So I'm not gonna recap that show. I don't even think I'll watch it because I'm not really interested. So yeah, there's a real show coming out with Riley, Gia, and apparently Brooks. I didn't know Brooks was going to be a part of that show, but I knew that there were a couple other Real Housewife kids that are going to be on the show, and I'm not going to recap it. I'm just not going to do it. Katie's daughters make me sick, like mother, like daughter. I believe Katie and her daughter are snobby Korean Karens. You can tell. I don't watch that, friend. I mean, I watch it. I tune in every now and then, but me either sounds like a busted NYC. Yeah, NYC was crazy dry. Yeah, he has her personality, which is why I don't like him. I mean, I just don't. For me, it wasn't so much the Jen Shaw thing, it was what came later and all of this about his sexuality, how it was such a big deal. And it was like, yeah, I get no one wants to be outed, but it's like your mom chose to be on reality TV. You could have set that out. You really could have. But moving on from there, yeah, because we gotta move on, sorry. Um Angie then, talks to Bronwyn because Bronwyn said, Angie, this has turned into a whole bunch of mess or whatever. And for me, with Angie, bless her heart, because I really don't think she been harmed by this. I don't. I really feel like this was a genuine moment. She goes, yeah, your daughter's about to, reunite with her grandparents. How do you feel? What I tell you, Bronwyn couldn't even answer the question fast. So Tom said, oh, no, she's not going to meet with them. We're not going to talk about this. And Bronwyn was trying to explain it. He said, Bronwyn, what I say? I said, we're not going to talk about this. This is done. I don't want to talk about it. Those people haven't been in her life. It's not going to happen here. It's not happening. And I said, well, god damn. And Bronwyn just looked like, okay, like Miss Seeley, the white Miss Seeley. I'm looking at Bronwyn like, I wish I was sitting at that table, y'all. Because I was at Bronwyn like this. Mm. So there's a lot to dissect here. There's a lot to dissect here.
Listen, I think the easiest part and the one thing that nobody really questions, right, without dissecting it, Angie, why would you bring up something like this at an anniversary dinner? Why would you feel it's your place when just meeting this person to mention her child in any capacity? This is not the setting to be bringing up children, grandparents, or any of that to any extent. You just should not do that. Now, if it was a child that they both shared biologically, fine, I might be okay with that. But it was inappropriate of her to bring that up. And Todd did. My husband was watching this with me, cheering him on. Like, that's right. I
Because
said,
I don't think Todd was wrong either. I don't
He
think
doesn't.
Todd
It
was
didn't look
wrong.
like he was wrong. The way my husband explained it to me, he was like, "It's a way of protecting your family and your loved one."
Hmm.
And sometimes you have to stand up where your spouse may not see what's necessary. And I actually understood it. People keep thinking he's abusive, and I could kind of see why people would think that, but I
Yes.
really do think that this is just a case of somebody who's extremely uncomfortable being on reality TV. He doesn't even give me somebody who watches it. People who about that
No,
type of money and always traveling. I feel like he's got other stuff going on than to be able to watch the Housewives. This was something he probably let Bronwyn do because she was probably bored and needed some time or somebody of her own. And he did not expect for people that he just met to bring up something so sensitive at the table. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on the abuse because we haven't seen enough of him yet to think that. But Braun was about to answer the question of something he knows that makes his wife sensitive. And men be showing stuff with anger sometimes. And he's
I
probably,
just think he's used to chastising.
yeah,
So, and I think that that's realistically what we were looking at. Is he's used to chastising. He's used to always standing and putting his foot down. And I think this situation is no different. It just happens to be at a table with other couples. So I just feel like, hold on, what are you asking? Do you think they rented a necklace? I finally believe that they bought it, but I know they can afford it, but I don't believe it was purchased. Um,
I feel like they probably put a significant amount down on it, but I don't think
yeah.
they bought that for the whole total
No, I don't
asking
think he
price.
paid cash for it. No, I think he is financing it because a lot of people do finance or even maybe lease jewelry because they do that as well. I know people who lease jewelry as well. You can do that. I don't think he put the full 4 million down. Now, can he do it? Probably, but I don't think he because a lot of people lease and finance jewelry. A lot of people do it because it's a quick place on your credit and you ain't got to worry about it. Just make the payments. Todd is a boss and he's used to being a boss and he's used to being around this. He's not used to being around this kind of chaos. And I agree. And I feel like
Yeah.
mixing this kind of chaos with something that's very sensitive to him because he's been in this little girl's life pretty much at least the last 10 years of it. That baby's what, 18? So since she was 8 years old, I mean, at the very least, that's a long time to be involved with someone's child and not look at her as your own. So he did the fatherly thing because I think my father would have said the same thing. Like, look, we're not talking about this. We're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I honestly understood him. Now, what I did not like was his tone and abrasiveness. I felt like he would have said, he would have told the table, look, table, in a more pleasant way. Look, that is very sensitive to our family. I don't want to talk about this. I get, and he said, I get Lisa was doing her due diligence, but this is not a topic of discussion. We will not discuss my child because, as you can see, a few people down, Meredith over there had a problem with any discussion of her child. I feel the exact same way about mine. We're not going to talk about that. Okay, Angie? That was cute and all, but no, we're not going to do that. I think he's smart. Todd has a choice in what they talk about when it comes to concerns to his family and why put the daughter on blast at the dinner for the adults. Well, realistically, Bronwyn did start this, and I think that they didn't really know that that topic would have been not up for discussion, even though it's inappropriate. 100%. I don't think Angie should have ever brought that up. But at the same time, I don't think that they realistically, because she brought it up on camera, I didn't think they thought that that topic was completely off limits because it was a camera topic in previous episodes. You get what I'm saying? So I kind of felt like maybe Angie didn't really think it through. If Brahma consented to all these housewives, I doubt that she's not sending it to Todd. I think she's just a reasonable person in her marriage, but the man that doesn't want to deal with it. Here's the thing. Um, I don't believe that. I think that whatever he says goes. And I think he gives her a lot of freedom because he's gone. And I think he makes up with that subtly with allowing her to have freedom with the credit card, freedom with living and lifestyle and being able to travel, go to this vault, go to this fashion show. I think he gives her these freedoms because he's not always present. And there is a lot of guilt with leaving your spouse that's behind all the time when you have to work. So I think that there is a matter of he's probably in some sort of guilt with always being gone, but I don't think she stands up to him at all. I think that what we saw is exactly their marriage. Mm-hmm. Yep. Same, yeah, with the jewelry. I feel like to me, 10 years is a monumental time. I'm not going to say it's not. But mind you, this is 10 years of when they met, not when they were married. So that is two different things. We don't know the actual date that they were married. They could have been married 2 years later from the day they met. So I just think for me, I don't know. I'm just, I'm going to watch it a little bit more and kind of assess it a little bit differently if I see it differently. But for right now, based on other conversations that happened in this episode, I really feel like no, he has full control of this relationship and full control of Brahman. And the freedom that he lets her have is when he's gone. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Um, because I don't think it matters to him. It's funny. I don't think a prenup matters to him. I don't think he really cares because I think his children are set. I think whatever he has, I think he's like Michael Darby. Y'all like Michael Darby, even though Ashley and him had a prenup, I feel like Michael Darby has tied up all of his assets to where it wouldn't even be found. But when it comes to his death, it'll magically appear. The fans are upset about the way Todd talks to Brian. And I can understand that. I understand that to all degrees. I don't think it's right either, but at the same time, we're only seeing a small part of it. And I feel like the way this is going, and this is my opinion, and then we're going to move on. I feel like the way this is going is Brahman's going to have to choose either the show or him. I think that that's what it's going to come down to. She's either going to have to choose either the show or she's going to have to choose him. This is best. How do you feel about that?
Um, he does dismiss her. I get the feeling that things do go his way in the relationship. I do not think that he is abusive in any way, but I do think that he may be emotionally neglectful towards his wife. Um, I also feel like the Real Housewives, many of these women are divorced and are not housewives, so I don't really see it for this couple. Usually if a couple is super happy, the last thing that you're going to do is go on television, in my personal opinion. So we already know that he's away all the time. She does all these goofy things. She's probably bored. So I'm sure that their marriage isn't perfect, but I don't think he's abusive. Neglectful and dismissive, yes. Abusive, no. But Bronwyn is a very outspoken woman. I don't see her just accepting and tolerating anything that she is not okay with. I think she views those negative things that he does and how he speaks to her as a small little prickly point to deal with to get to all the other benefits, financially. And he seems to love the hell out of the daughter. But yeah, I don't know. He's also old and set in his ways. So that's probably a piece of it. Do I think their marriage will last on this show? No, not really. Um, I just don't think it will. And I feel like talking about prenups and, oh, there's no prenup. There is a prenup. I feel like all of that jinxes the marriage. That's just how I am. So we'll see. We'll see. I like her for this show though. I will say that.
I
And maybe
hope
she
she
should
chooses the
film.
show. Like, I hope she chooses the show over her marriage. Not to say I'm an advocate for divorce, but I'm just saying for my selfish entertainment purposes, I hope she does stay because I feel like I'm not getting the duo between her and Mary the way I want to, and I would love to see that play out because I feel like her and Mary, oh man, this cast will stand no chance. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I feel like she will. I feel like I said, the entertainment selfish part of me wants her to stay on the show, and if that means at the expense of Todd, you'll be all right, Brom. You'll be all right. So, moving on, we're gonna talk about the NASCAR thing, and then we're gonna talk about the last scene, and then we'll be done with this because I'm kind of running out of time. We have another live to do after this, but the next thing we're gonna talk about is the NASCAR event. This is the whole reason why they're here. They're meeting Joseph. What is his name? The NASCAR driver. And I thought it was funny when Seth asked him, are you single? Because I have a friend for you, asking for a friend. And he goes, no, I'm married with a kid. And then he goes, well, sorry, Heather. And I looked at Seth like, now Heather ain't got no damn chance with no damn Joseph NASCAR driver. Seth, you was wrong for this. You was wrong for this. I'm sorry. You was wrong for this, y'all. I just took that and I was like, why would you say that? Like, even if he was, that man ain't gonna get no heaven, no time of day. So, anyways, y'all, moving on. Lisa tries to talk to Bronwyn during the NASCAR event, and they can't hear each other because the NASCAR is very, oh, oh, oh. Now, Kevin, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, I'm saying it. The man is handsome, though. He really is. He really is handsome. So, I mean, hey, Seth, if that's what you like to do, then hey. I love NASCAR. I've been before. The cars are super loud. They are. I've been as well. And I'm like, I don't know how y'all was able to even hear your names, let alone the whole conversation. So Brahma said she'll talk to Lisa at the house. She'll talk to Lisa at the house. So we're gonna go ahead and jump to the last thing, you guys. I'm sorry I'm cutting it short, but I have another live to do in like 5 minutes. But the last scene of the house is that they're all leaving. Seth left early, so he says goodbye to Angie and Sean, which I thought was highly interesting, despite the conversation that they had a table with Meredith. I don't think those two are on the same page. I'm gonna say that. What are y'all talking about in this? Hold on, what is we talking about? Not a regular clear woman. Y'all distracted me. Stop it. I'm gonna come back to that because I want put in the chat who y'all talking about because I don't even know who y'all talking about.
Whitney, James, Whitney.
Where's that at?
It's in the comments. You
Oh, I gotta
probably
go up.
looking at them late.
Andre Shannon, shout out to you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. I don't think I've ever read a comment of yours. Whitney Rose is a very beautiful woman. Um, I missed a lot of comments. Dang, y'all, I am so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Heather Durrell has mentioned housewives joined to divorce their husbands. Oh, wait. Okay.
I believe that because when you're married to men of a certain socioeconomic class, you get to be careful when you divorce them. And sometimes to be on a show with the guaranteed income and the ability to also be seen publicly might
Mm,
calm them down. You maybe do a little better in the end.
yes, absolutely. Said that before already. That okay. Wait, not a regular clear woman. Bitch, stay with it. You my girl.
She is though with
You
a
my girl.
bobblehead
I
head.
love you. I swear, I love you so much. What's your other live about? Same channel? Yes, same channel. If you watch a show called Bell Collective, that is on the OWN network. Me and Mrs. Best are going to do a live recap of that show as well. I love Heather Gay too. She did need Ozempic to lose, but I ain't even gonna jump that bridge. Y'all know how I feel about Heather. If y'all don't know how I feel about Heather, go back and watch the replays of all of these, and you'll see how I feel about Heather. Okay. All right. So moving on from there. So they're not going to take the same charter private plane that they had when they got here. Bronwyn had organized a regular commercial flight. And Lisa was like, okay, well, what's the seat number? Because Lisa thinking she's sitting in first class and everything. And everyone had to tell Lisa, no, baby, you riding in coach. Angie said, my number is 19D. And Lisa's like, coach? No, coach. I don't ride coach. I haven't rode coach in since I was in college. John, no, we need to fix this. We need to fix this now. John, I don't ride coach. Brian knows I don't ride coach. Like, I don't know why she would do this to me. Like, ride coach? Like, I can't believe this. Meredith, we have to ride coach. And I'm looking at her like, what the heck? Y'all, get Lisa off my screen, please. Get her off my screen because this is starting to get just annoying at this point. You gonna get home. Like, what the
The
hell is
biggest of stars, the most successful of people have been seen riding coach from time to time. Why? Because sometimes if you book a gig at the last moment or something goes too long, you miss your flight, something happened, you got to get what you could get. The end of the day, it's just a plane, and the only difference is really the size of the damn seats, is if we being honest, depending on the airline. But for her to do that was just Lisa's always doing something that's not relatable. I just can't. I just can't. Her and that old lady mouth.
so I do watch the after show. Unless they show the pictures of what the seats look like, I'm not gonna take that at face value. I'm just not. Because I feel like Lisa was tripping. And it's not like she's heavy set or something that would cause her to be uncomfortable.
Lisa act like she rich enough to be flying around on private jets or something. Like she needs to relax. Like she does well and whatnot, but she does need to be a little bit humble for herself. This just is not going to land well. I don't think with any audience. It you're doing all of this over Coach, over Coach, and you one of the least paid housewives of all the franchises, but you crying about Coach.
It was this comment right here. Thank you for bringing this up, Naya. It was this comment right here. I'm like, so you're more concerned with how you gonna get home than to go get your son from your sister.
But you was just crying about how your son is struggling with friends because he's alone all the time and now his brother is gone.
I cannot fly, coach. Okay, I don't have any choice. That's my only option.
If somebody else is
So,
paying
yeah,
for your
good for
flights
you. I'm
though,
happy that that's my only option when I fly. So,
no, but I
yeah,
think the bigger deal is people can fly whatever they choice. If you choose to fly something better than Coach, nothing's wrong with it. If I had it, I'd be flying something better than Coach. Best believe it. But
me
for
too.
me, she didn't need to freak out like that just off the simple fact that you just came off a trip where everything was paid for. You did not have to pay for anything. They paid for your resort, they paid for your room, they paid for your food, your alcohol, and you acted a fool this whole trip too. So it was the anniversary trip. Now they are paying for your flight home after allowing your ass to stay. And you are loudly complaining and so offended at the thought of flying Coach when people who are worth more than you are okay with flying Coach, like Brahma has said, for like a 40 to 60-minute flight, an hour. Like it was a little bit much. It's okay for her to go off and pay for what she wants to do. She grown. But you do not have to be so loud carrying on about it. You said the boy will be okay. You just done said F my child, F these people. I need to get me a better, like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me because somebody else paid for these flights. If she was doing that on her own, that's something else, fine. But someone paid for these flights, Lisa. How about a thank you? Just say.
I would, yeah, I would put her on Greyhound. That would have been me. Okay, well, you can take a Greyhound and get there. I'm sure you would have an. Do you know the tea about how Lisa met John? Yeah, yeah. John used to date one of her sisters, and I'm wondering if it's that same sister she was in a couple episodes with. I'm wondering if it was that sister because she didn't say that she has, I think, 4 sisters. She didn't say which one it was, but I'm assuming it's that one. So yeah, she took John from her sister. Brownless said if she had a problem with travel, go buy yourself a Porsche. There's a dealership up the.
Y'all, for real, you want to cry like you so rich that you can't do this? Then, bitch, go behave like a rich bitch. Go find the closest dealership, and there's lots of them in Palm Springs because they know that the elite like to go play in that damn
Yep,
desert. Okay, go lease you a Porsche real quick. You got a couple days to return it, and they cater to you and get home. Hell, that's probably cheaper than trying to find a last minute ticket. But she
I'm
want
just
to
saying.
play.
I'm just saying. But y'all, no, it was her other sister, Denise. Okay, see, I knew. I thank you for clarifying because I didn't know which sister it was. I just knew she did take him from her sister, which that should show y'all right there what kind of person she is. But hey, I'm just a little man with a little bitty old YouTube channel that recaps this show. What the hell do I know? But I hope she does too. I hope she does too. Like I said, I hope she chooses the show instead of her husband. But that's just the selfish entertainment part of me and Watch Your Mouth reviews. The real life, James in real life wants her to stay with her husband because it's worked all this time. But the entertainment part of me would love to see her next season. And I hope Todd gives her full permission to join the show again because we need Real Housewives of Salt Lake City needs Broadway. They do. So moving on there. I mean, I wasn't gonna say that, but Naya, I guess. Even Jen Shaw was very entertaining. Okay, I love y'all, I do. I love y'all, I do, but I am not saying this lady's name on my channel. But y'all know who this is. Everybody should know who this is. I'm not saying that lady's name on my channel. I'm not gonna give her the satisfaction. So because she actually did what she's in prison for. So we're not seeing it for her on this channel. But um, that was pretty much the episode. I'm a couple minutes late to my next live, you guys. But if you guys want to hang around, please feel free to do so. I appreciate everybody that was in this chat. Y'all kept my comments live. I couldn't even keep up with y'all. So I appreciate everyone's comments. I appreciate anybody who is new to my channel. Welcome. We appreciate you. We do this every week. We are recapping Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I do have Real Housewives of Potomac on here as well. So if you guys love that show, please come back. And I'm glad you found me as well. You were a joy in my chat. Thank you so much. And thank you. I appreciate that. So guys, yeah, we'll be back for Bell Collective. Make sure you guys are there because we're going to get into that episode as well. It's actually a really good episode. So I will see you guys in my next recap. Bye-bye.